Yourself inside a world full of people hating. You gotta heal yourself every time you start to overthink it. You gotta find a reason to keep going when you feel like breaking. Had to tell myself I'm great, I'm strong, I'm brave enough to face it.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about the rapper out of Virginia by the name of Egypxn. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He lost his life by way of being taken out by police after he tried to take out his mother and his two siblings. I don't know what made him just lose it, but he did. And if you look at his social media, it looked like he had been trending in that direction for quite some time. It seemed like he had already made that choice to leave this earth. And a lot of times there's really nothing that you can do with some of these people. Now, people can say, well, you can reach out to them and help them, but it seems like this is something that he had been planning, because a video was released after he did the deed of trying to end his family. Now, his family, from my understanding, has survived and they're in the hospital. Maybe he thought that he would take their lives and then, take his own life by cop, right? And that didn't really go according to plan, because he ended up losing his life, but his family are still fighting for theirs. It's very clear to me that this man had a lot of demons, a lot of issues, and he just couldn't escape it. A lot of times, some demons are just tougher than others for some of these guys, and they can't fight them. Maybe they don't have the right structure. Maybe they're not as successful as they're seeking to be, because he was seeking to get successful, in music, and it just wasn't happening. I believe he was a father of a son. And this is just sad all around. But the thing is, with a lot of men nowadays, especially a lot of these Gen Zers, these millennial men too, they don't have the right direction. A lot of them are fatherless. A lot of them don't have men in their lives who can give them confidence. And that does a lot for a young man. It really does. Now, some people don't want to believe that, but that is a fact. Men getting confidence by being around other men who can mentor them and be that father figure for them. That's why you see so many, especially black men, are able to make it out of their situation by playing sports, because they have mentors and their coaches. And those coaches become father figures to them. And they're able to guide them out of poverty, out of broken homes, into finding success in life. And it's very clear that this guy had demons. He had things that were going on with him. And maybe he felt his family was responsible for that. He felt his mother was responsible for that. But your siblings aren't responsible for that. Now, I've seen some people try to make excuses. There's no excuse for this. This guy wanted to end his own life, but he couldn't do it. He wanted somebody else to do it. And he wanted to hurt his family on the way out. That is what it looks like. And that is sad, that you have a guy that seemingly, it seemed like he has some fans. I mean, the comments that I saw on his IG, even on his old Facebook page, it looked like there were people that really rocked with him. Even after what he did, they're still supportive of him. But this is why I say a lot of these males of today are in crisis. They have no direction. If they don't make it as a rapper, they think their life is over, when there are so many different things that you can do. But these guys are conditioned to pursue one thing, and if you don't make it there, you're a failure, because they hate being normal, because they feel like something's wrong with that. Let's get into this article. This is according to The Root. Every once in a while, a story may have you thinking, what the hell is wrong with people? This is one of them. On March 28th, rapper Egypxn born Ty Adam Washington II broke into his own mother's home. So obviously he wasn't living there, and maybe he wasn't allowed there. According to ABC 8 News, he has not only struck his mother, Taisha Hall, but he also shot his 21-year-old sister and 12-year-old brother. There is no excuse for that whatsoever. What did your siblings have to do with that? Is it because they got more of your mother's love than you did? Because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like he wanted to take all of his hate and frustration that's been brewing, and he wanted to take it out on everybody in the family instead of seeking to get help. But to him, it was the world that was sick. Reminds you of the Joker film. As if those crimes weren't bad enough, the Virginia artist also dropped a music video for his song Be Free shortly after committing those acts, per ABC 8. Thankfully, none of the family members that he struck lost their life, but they are still recovering from life-threatening injuries. This particular crime has similarities to that of Texas rapper Tay, who was on the run from the police while he was shooting the music video for the race. But unlike Tay, the music video for Egypxn was pre-scheduled to release on YouTube days before he actually committed those crimes against his family. According to ABC 8 News, local police shortly started a citywide search for the 26-year-old rapper as his injured family members were transported to the hospital. The next day, on March 29th, he posted multiple times on Instagram, but the one post that stood out read, "This world is full of nothing but suffering and pain. The burden I've carried on my heart has finally reached its peak. I will not be held captive or a prisoner." That's why I tell y'all, a lot of these guys not only are dealing with mental illness, they're dealing with trauma. Now, I don't know what trauma that he dealt with, but obviously he dealt with some trauma. And there are a lot of people now, to this day who dealt with trauma throughout their lives, and they've never gotten over it. They've never gotten help for it, and it has affected their mental health. He continued, "I'd rather return to source. Remember, please be careful and consider of how you treat people. You never know what someone is going through or when their breaking point is." This is what he posted. The signs are there. You have people, you see this a lot on social media. Like, you see people who you can tell may have those tendencies to harm themselves. You could just sense it with what they post. And again, it reminds you of the Joker film. The world is getting crazy. Not me, but the world is getting crazy. And that's what it seems like was going on with him. There were things that he may have gone through, things that he may have dealt with that he never got healing from. And to him, this was the only way out. It says, "I've reached mine. This world is all a test." That's what the rest of it said. In the caption for the same post, he wrote, "My last request from humanity is that you seriously evaluate the care that you have for each other. If the species is to ever evolve, you must stop eating animals, stop warring with each other, and take care of Mother Earth. Overthrow this sadistic government and rebuild on a fresh foundation. It's time for me to rest now. Hashtag farewell." And we know what happened after that. After being on the run for 2 days, Egypxn was fatally struck in North Carolina on March 30th after confronting police in a standoff, according to ABC 8 News. Although the alleged suspect is dead, the police are still investigating the incident. Of course they are. Of course they are. It's not like they don't have anything that they need. Listen, this guy clearly has been dealing with trauma for a long time. Mental health has gotten deteriorated more and more. And there are a lot of questions. This is why I tell y'all social media is not real life. You can log off at any time, because a lot of times, you know, people like him may feel judged. You know, he may feel like no one is accepting of his creativity. And that can drive people like him to believe that that's the real world, and it's not. We've seen people in their own lives because of what they see on social media. I'm not blaming social media for what he did. What he did was something that he's probably always wanted to do. He's always wanted to do this to his family. This, you know, he planned this. He had the video ready to go because all he cared about was becoming infamous, being noticed, because no one has ever noticed him, right? No one has ever noticed him. Never noticed his talent. That I'm you know, I'm getting deep into his psychology. So in his mind, he's gonna make people notice him no matter what. If you go to his TikTok, I don't know if this was his regular TikTok, but there's a TikTok that he has, and in the bio it says, "I will be trending soon." All right. And to follow his IG. And there's one particular video on there where he looks like he's hanging off the side of a rail and there's water underneath, and he's rocking back and forth filming this. In the caption, he says, "Did I go too far? Let me know." This is a guy that was clearly on the edge. This is a guy that clearly just wanted to end it all. But if you're going to do that, which I don't approve of, I don't think people should be doing that, but I feel like your family should have never gotten involved. But that's what happens when you believe it's their fault and not your own. You believe that everything that's wrong with you is your family's fault and not yours. And that's why he did what he did. But it's a good thing that his family survived. Or is surviving, but they're in the hospital. So let me know in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.